So thank you all for joining this particular session. So we'll talk about today full stack, the development program, how our company can help you guys to step up your career. A little bit about myself, which already Kavya told. So I got a BTech Computer Science degree from NIT Rourkela, and I have like more than 25 years of IT industry experience in USA. I used to work for IBM and AT&T and many other companies back in the US, and I do have executive MBA programs from Harvard, Columbia. I did a lot of work for MIT, like AI, machine learning, deep learning, upcoming technologies like quantum computing. I do specialize more into software architecture, architecture, performance tuning. I build a lot of complex applications, since last 25 years. I'm really passionate about technology. I sleep with technology. I wake up with technology. So that has been my passion. And as Kavya told, I love what I do and I do what I love. That's how I define my passion. The objective of this particular today is like, I came to India like a couple of years back, 3-4 years back, to set up my center of excellence. I know that India is upcoming market, so I came down from New Jersey, and when I came here, I saw that a lot of fresh engineering graduates, but really, really talented graduates, engineering graduates. But I see that there's some kind of skill gap, what the industry is looking for and what they have graduated with the knowledge they have. I think there is some kind of missing skill, in the technical skills. So that's why I realized that the knowledge we have and experience we have in the last 25 years, we did like in Mexico and Philippines, many other countries where we upskill the people in the real world, real applications. So I said, why don't we offer the same program for the fresh graduates in India? Now, second thing, like how and where to start a career in IT. A lot of people, they're confused. Where do I start my career in IT? It's very confusing. People, they get overwhelmed. There's so many technical things to learn. What is the best skill and how to start? So there are a lot of questions that goes into the people's mind. Now we'll talk about today a very specific thing here about full stack development. We do a lot of things, other things here in our company, but today's particular subject is what is full stack and how to go about it, right? And the best part here in our company, what we do is like, we are not an e-learning or we are not a virtual session here. You guys will be able to learn and experience the live projects that we have. Okay? So let's understand what is a full stack, forget the technology part of it, but any application that we design is called N-tier, the multiple tier architecture. So if I see this particular one, simplest one, they're like what the customer is facing, that's called either web applications or mobile applications, that is called presentation layer. Like on my mobile app using like LinkedIn or Facebook or Twitter or anything, that is a presentation layer, that's user interface. Now, then comes the logic, business logic layer, where anything you do on the presentation layer, if I click on the button, how that particular request is transmitted to the backend systems, right? How that is being done, how the business logic is being prepared, that is being handled by the logic layer or business logic layer. Now, the third thing is called data layer. That is, data layer is like where the data is being stored. Like if I go to a particular bank, if I give my login password, then I've been authenticated, then I can see my bank account details. So the data is being stored at certain databases, and that is called data tier, data layer. So this is the simplest architecture. We call like a 3-tier architecture, but it can be extended to multiple layer. Like here I am going to connect to Google API, or if I connect with some other third party, I can add a multiple layer. That's called N-tier architecture. But today's, to make it simplified, not to confuse, we'll use like 3-tier architecture. Now, when you say front-end development, so in the 3D architecture, we talk about presentation layer, what the user they see. So presentation layer is user interface on the mobile app or on the website, that is called user interface. So there are two types of front-end development we have. One is called web development, what people, they go to the browser on your desktop or on your like browser. And in that one, there's one segment technology that we use. It's called HTML5. Then CSS3 and JavaScript. To build any website, you need the minimum 3 things. HTML is basically the content, okay, what you write on the website. That is given using by HTML5. Now to beautify the content, I want to make the color red, blue, underscore, or like italics, or if I want to like make like font big size, those things are done by the CSS. Now, if I want to interact with that particular web page, interactions might click on something or submit a button, and you put the the form elements and submit. Those are called interacting with the web page, and those things are done by the JavaScript. So to build any website, you need like basic three things: HTML, CSS3, and JavaScript. Now there are many frameworks that's built around these three technologies. So if you call like JavaScript framework, JavaScript is a basic code. On top of that, we can build many different frameworks. So there is a framework called React.js that is, I think, developed by Facebook. That has the biggest market share as of today. 48% market share is owned by React.js. Then comes the AngularJS that is done by Google. So they have like 28% market share. Then we have like a jQuery, Vue.js. There are many other scripts library, but we need one of these JavaScript library to make our web development much faster, right? Now, for CSS, there is another framework to beautify. Instead of writing a lot of code, we can use like Bootstrap, is again from Facebook, then Material Design from Google. So we can use this Bootstrap and Material Design to make our the development cycle much faster. So this is the front end for the web technologies. Now let's talk about the front end for the mobile applications. So if I use like Android mobile, we use something called Kotlin. That's another language to build the mobile app for Android. Similar thing for iOS is called Swift. Now there is another third application, third framework that is called Hybrid. I write one code and that can work on both Android and iOS. I don't have to write separate code for Android. That is called Hybrid framework, and those are there are many actually, but right now the most popular one is like Flutter and React Native. So this is the front end layer, one layer talking about. Now let's talk about the second layer, that is more the middleware and business logic. So if I click on something on the front end, how my request is being processed on the backend. So on the backend side, there is something called web server that receives all the requests from the front end, right? So there are like many web servers available, like Apache server, Tomcat, and Nginx. So these are the three web servers. They take all the requests from the front end, and then they apply the business logic. Now to write the business logic, we need to have a different type of development environment. So we can use like multiple languages available in the market. There are hundreds of languages, but I'm putting here like most popular one that is being used right now. That is like Java framework or Python or PHP, Node.js. So these are like most popular one, the languages being used to design and develop the backend business logic layer. Now, in the last couple of years, the concept has now been changed. So the front-end applications, the design and the backend design, now they're being segregated. It's no longer integrated into one. That means I can write my front-end applications code independently, and I can write my backend code independently, and they can be integrated using called API. API means application programming interface. So the front end, they don't need to worry about how the backend is working. All they have to send, I want to send a request to the backend, and the backend will give me the data, what I'm looking for. How these things are working, they are independently designed. So this has made the application design more decoupled and more flexible. Now, how the message is passing between these two entities, front and backend, there are multiple messaging formats available. XML, JSON, name value pair, and there are so many different data formats available. But the most popular ones are JSON data structure and XML. Right now, in any applications, we have to integrate with third-party providers. Let's say I want to authenticate my applications with Facebook or Google, or I want to integrate like payment gateway like Stripe or Bharat Pay or like Paytm. There's so many third-party payment gateway. I can integrate with third-party integrations with our app. So those are called third-party integrations. We use like protocol like OAuth or REST architectures. There are many ways we can integrate third-party applications into our applications, right? Again, there are multiple frameworks available: Java, Spring Boot, Laravel for PHP, Django for Python, Express.js, Socket. There are hundreds of. Now the technology is so vast and wide, it's very, very confusing. And this is one of the challenges. Most of the programmers, the people are entering the IT industry, they're confused what to learn and how to learn and where to start. So this is where we're going to come into picture to help you guys to pick the right technology with based on your interest, what you want to do in your career path. So let's move on. Now we spoke about the presentation layer. We spoke about the business logic layer. Now let's talk about the data layer. So what is the data layer? This is where our personal data or any data will be stored, So they're like SQL database. SQL stands for structured query language, So there are many providers for the database storage technology. So one of them, like most popular, like MySQL, Postgres, and Oracle. So these are like very structured data, is well-defined structure, how the data being stored. Now there is something called NoSQL database. That means no only means it's not NO, it's not only SQL. That means it goes beyond SQL database. That means there are a lot of unstructured data that can be stored into the database. What is unstructured data? That means it doesn't have a predefined metadata. Let's say in the SQL, we can store the data like first name, last name, my age, my gender, my date of birth. Those are like more structured data we can put in a tabular format. What is unstructured data is social media, Facebook and Twitter, LinkedIn, or Google. So those data are not properly defined. Anyone can write anything on social media. So how do we pull the data and input in our system? So those data are unstructured data. So now the NoSQL database, they support both structured data as well as unstructured data. That's why it's called not only SQL, it's not NO, it's not yes and no. It's not only SQL, it goes beyond SQL database, right? Now, what are the different most popular database available for NoSQL, like MongoDB, Cassandra, Amazon DynamoDB, Oracle has its own database for NoSQL. Every company has their own products and services for NoSQL. Now it's consumer choice. It's my choice to decide which database is good for me. It's based on the pricing, based on the cost, or the quality, or the performance, or maybe the licenses. It's basically buying a car. Whether I want to buy like BMW or Mercedes or like Toyota Corolla, anything. It depends on my need and affordability. So these products are based on the customer need, what particular software or products they want to buy. But pretty much all this software, all this MongoDB and Cassandra, they meet the minimum requirements that the customer is looking for, right? Now, we have like presentation layer, then we have like business logic layer, and now like database layer. How do we integrate all these three layers? So there's like integration definitions, like between my business logic layer, if I want to connect to the database, they're like different like database drivers available. There's drivers for Python, there are drivers for Java, JDBC drivers. So there are multiple drivers that helps you to connect from the middleware or like business logic layer to the database layer, right? Same thing from the presentation layer. If I want to connect to the backend, so there's something called like HTTP protocol available that I can connect to the backend using the different protocols. So we'll talk about that as we move on. But these are the three layers that we are talking about right now. Now, if you go to any website or Google, always people, they talk about very limited scope. When you say full stack development, they talk about the presentation layer, the middle layer, and the backend layer. So this is most of the courses are aligned in those three layers. But I want to talk a little bit more in a practical aspect. As a software developer, you have to know the entire process end to end, not just like one particular language or one particular software. Because if I know only one Java language, I cannot be a good software developer engineer. That gives me only very small perspective of that particular technology. So here we want to extend beyond full stack. So as a programmer, as an engineer, I need to understand how the entire end-to-end software development cycle works here. So first thing, like project management. When there is a big application that you design, how do you manage the project? There's so many people working on this particular application. There are so many designers, there are so many like programmers, they're like QA testing engineers, they're like developers, they're like project managers. So there's an entire team of like 20, 30, 50 people. How do we manage? So we have a project management platform called Agile methodology. This is very popular right now. So Agile methodology, we use the technology or the concept to coordinate between all the team members and we assign that particular task. This is what everybody is to do. And once they're done, then we integrate. So we use like Agile methodology for project management. Now, second comes like there are multiple developers, programmers, they are working the same applications, right? So how do we make sure that the code I'm writing and the code like one of my colleagues is writing, make sure that we are not not like messing up each other's code. So there is a way to control the source code, the programming skill that we do. So we use like the most popular one called Git or GitLab, to integrate all these developers programming, that we do. So once we build the application, then comes like the QA team, So as a developer, I have to do the unit testing, and I have to integrate my code with other all other modules here. So as a developer, I have to do the unit testing, integration testing, make sure everything is working smoothly, right? Then what happens, like as we build our applications, every day we get like new features, new enhancements, and like a lot of bugs in the code. So we have to constantly develop the applications and constantly deploy. As you make changes, as you do the bug fixing. So the process called CI/CD, continuous integrations and deployment and development, right? So we use that CI/CD, the tools and techniques. Now the QA team, when they do the testing of the application, they find a lot of bugs in the application. This is not working, that is not working. So there is a platform like bug tracking platform. Either you can use like Jira, Bug-Jira. There's so many open source tools available. The QA team, they will to record all the bugs on the platform, and the developers, they will pick up those bugs and make sure that the bugs are like valid one or invalid ones. Once they do the bugs, they find it's a bug. They will now change the code. They'll fix the bug, and again they will deliver the new build, using the CI/CD techniques to the QA team. Now the QA team will re-verify, recertify those bugs, and make sure that there is no bug in that particular applications, right? So once the application is ready to go to the market, then we have different like deployment strategies. So we have like development environment where the developers will be working that particular system. They'll constantly deploy it in the dev environment. Then there's something called pre-prod. Before we go live, make sure that the entire applications is deployed in a pre-prod environment where the QA team, the UAT team, there are all other stakeholders. They will make sure that the application, what we expected, is really meeting the functionality and the requirements. So once we certify the pre-prod deployment, then we put a switch. Basically, we are now going live. That is called general availability, GA. So now the entire world can use that application. So if you look at like Uber, Ola, or like like Airbnb, any application that you see, those are like live productions. So those data are very sensitive. No one has access to the data unless certain people in the company who are authorized to do that. Now we deploy these applications in different environment. It could be cloud or it could be hybrid. So if we look at like cloud, that would be like Azure or AWS, Amazon Web Services, Google Cloud Services, or we can have our own server in our office and you can deploy. So once we go live, this is where our applications is being constantly, being used by the people. So there is a like support team, there is infrastructure team. They constantly monitor the system doesn't go down, or sometimes we see the spike in the application. The number of users are going very high. So they're like teams, support and maintenance team and admin team. They constantly watch the availability of the applications for 99.99%, or sometimes is like mission critical application. They have to be up and running 100%. Like Google or these companies, they cannot go down. So they spend like billions of dollars to make sure the application live almost like 100% in real time. Okay. Now, what are the current challenges that we face in the industry? Right now, because of COVID, a lot of people, they go for e-learning or virtual learning. So I have taken many courses myself, and I personally found it's not effective. When I take the online courses, I know there is an instructor teaching me. Sometimes I go to I take a break, I go for tea, coffee, I come back, then I feel that, hey, these courses are being recorded. I can come back and replay those videos later on, but trust me, it doesn't happen, right? So it's not really effective for e-learning, and there's no much interactions between the instructor and the learner, right? The second thing, like no matter how much I do e-learning, but unless I do hands-on practical, I cannot learn, right? So basically, if I can go to YouTube and I know how to make a particular dish, I can keep watching 100 times and I can feel confident that yes, I know how to make a dish. But when I go to kitchen to make the same dish, it doesn't come like that. So what I need to do, I need to go to kitchen. I stand next to my mom and I see my mom doing how she's doing, and I'll put my hands in a couple of times and I'll do like a couple of times. Then I learn how to make that particular dish. So our company is a kitchen for IT professionals to learn in a practical way. theoretically you cannot learn, no matter how many courses you take, no matter how many genius people out in the market, they're teaching you and they're upskilling you, but until you do hands-on practical, you cannot learn, right? Now, other thing I found the challenge that in a particular live session, e-learning, the kind of people that join that particular courses could be like junior freshers and somebody like 20 years experience. Me as an instructor, I'm very confused at what level I'm going to teach. If I speak in a very high level, the junior freshers, they might not understand the technology, right? If I talk to in a very basic levels, the senior level people will get confused. I'm like, they'll not enjoy that because they already know those things. So they say, hey, this is completely no use for me. So the demography of the people attending e-learning is not uniformly distributed. So I think the learning doesn't become that effective as well, right? Now, EdTech industry, I see a lot of e-learning companies. I don't want to put any name here, but the e-learning companies, their primary motto is to generate revenue because that's the primary source of revenue. They want to get the people on board, no matter what happens, whether they're learning, they're not learning, they're getting the job or no, is none of their concern. So, no. And most of the e-learning companies, they give a job assurance that, okay, we will try to get a job for you, but we don't give any job guarantees. So we keep accumulating a lot of certificates. I'm Java certified, I'm like this certified, but are these certificates really helps you to get a job in the job market? It doesn't, right? So we have seen a lot of challenges in the EdTech industry, and this is where we are coming to picture. We're going to disrupt this particular industry where the people will be learning. I won't say learn, the people will be directly getting into our company and they will implement the project likewise that we have going on globally, and they can see, they'll interact with our senior level professionals, and our people here are our own employees. It's not like e-learning or third-party companies, they bring the freelancers who are working for other companies. So I think there is no commitment from the freelancing instructors, how they teach the people. So this is the challenges we see here, and this is where we want to come into picture and help the graduates to shape up their career and shape up their life and get the real thing what they're looking for. And I have seen like a couple of in the last few years, they graduate, they have a BTech in computer science or BTech in some other degree. They go for a lot of certifications. They don't get any job, and eventually they land up doing odd jobs. They become like local delivery boy. They go work for like call center. They work for BPO, and once they join that particular that work, because they have no choice, they want to make some money to survive. But after 1 year, 2 years, they realize that this is not the job I want to do. But I think sometimes it's like too late for them to come back, and start their career all over. So we want to prevent that people, they should not get trapped or do something that they don't want to enjoy. So this particular program that we have is going to help those people shape up their career, right? So this is in a nutshell what our company is trying to do here. Again, thank you very much for this particular session. Again, I'm Jit Goel. I put my email ID, my telephone number. I'm on WhatsApp and my LinkedIn profile. I'll strongly encourage you guys to connect with me, and it will be a pleasure for me to help you guys or advise you or guide you what is good for your career. So Kavya, thank you very much for giving the opportunity. And I think end of this particular session, we'll take the FAQ or any questions anybody might have. Thank you all.
Yeah, thank you for your insightful words on full stack development. Now let me introduce our next speaker, who is the Business Development Manager, to talk about NYINST. So we welcome Mr. Mintu Kumar, and over to you.
Yeah, so thank you, Kavya, giving this opportunity, and thank you, Jeet sir, for giving this such an wonderful information and a true information about the EdTech companies. Okay, so I'll introduce myself. My name is Mintu Kumar. I'm heading the business development in NYINST. And before that, I want to ask few questions from the, I hope all our graduates here. So what are the difficulties or the reason why we don't get a job after BTech or after graduation? Anyone? Vivek, what may be the reason? Yeah, am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah, so basically like after getting a 4 years of teaching, a lot of knowledge, why we are not able to fetch a job of like 3 LPA, let us say 3 LPA.
Yes. There may be many factors, like might be people who are like good at coding and doing well, but they are not good at performing in interviews and all. That is the one factor. And another factor is like people like maybe due to the competition also. So I feel these two are the major factors to people who can't get the job in market.
Correct. Yeah. See, so guys, there's only one particular reason, like what colleges are teaching is not used by the industry, and what industry is using are not taught by the colleges. I'll give you a live example. Let us say I come from a BTech. When I went for an interview, so ultimately what happened? Lot of knowledge, but no job, no practical experience. So the first and foremost reason why people are not getting a job is experience. We are getting a lot of knowledge in terms of theory, but where we have to apply that we don't know. In like BTech, we have a 4 mathematics, M1, M2, M3, M4, where we used to like we learn triple integration, double integration, differentiation. Can you tell me where we are using this in practical jobs or practical life? I have a 5 years of experience. I've not used anywhere this triple integration, double integration, variables. The reason is this: we are learning only theory. Even when we are asking our teachers, I want to learn this triple integration, they tell it is in curriculum. So that's why you have to learn. But what is the output of it? 4 years I've invested lakhs of rupees, all my time, 8 semesters, lot of subjects I've studied, and ultimately I've got nothing out of it. Correct? Agree with me?
Yes.
Like how we are different, why we are here, what we want to discuss, what is NYINST. Okay, so basically NYINST is initiative of XCEL Corp. It's a kind of bridge between you and the company. You can treat NYINST as a bridge between, like you can say, to your dream, which can, that bridge can take you to your dream company, Microsoft, Google, Facebook, maybe Amazon, Deloitte, Accenture, Wipro, Infosys. Like all of us dream now to work at Microsoft, Google, Deloitte, HSBC.
So I think, Mintu, to add one more thing here, I've been training myself like hundreds of people in the last 20 years. I think one of the big challenge the most of the programmers they have the fear that where do I start? How do I write the code? How do I write this algorithm? You know, how do I program it? I think that's the biggest challenge, you know, that I've been interacting. I've trained like hundreds of thousands of people in the last 20 years. You know, they have a BTech degree, computer science or electrical electronics. They don't know how to start and where to start. And I think the overwhelming, the challenges, they feel, my God, technically complex. I cannot. A lot of people they run away. But guys, I'll tell you a very simple thing here. What is computer science? What is the software? Software is nothing but we want to make our life easy by automating certain things. So what we do in a real life, we're trying to automate the same thing by using the software, right? So basically, the computer software, the programming we do, basically we're trying to make these things easy by automating the process. So basically, what you do in the real life is what the software is going to do for us, right? So it's very easy to understand, but you need the right mentor, you need the right platform to see that this is like really easy, it's not a complex one. The second thing I want to add here is that when you go for any Java certifications, any course, they give you so many things to learn. They overburden you with a lot of courses, curriculum, this, that is all nonsense, okay? You need to learn what is really needed in the real life. You know? I'll give a very simple example. When you go and want to buy a camera, right? When you go to buy a camera outside, you look for SLR camera. It has a lot of features. I want like point blank. I want like zooming. I want like red eye reductions. I want like night. I want like sports. I blah, 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 blah. You look for 1,000 things. But when you buy the camera, what happens? Anywhere you go, only thing like you point it and just click. There are 1,000 features in the camera, but use only 2 things in that camera. Software industry, any language you see, either like Python, Java, or any .NET, anything, there's so many applications, features are there, but technically you don't use all of those things. So what we do is like we squeeze all these things and we give the aspect that is being used by 99% of the companies what they need. So what you learn from us is what is the industry is looking for. You don't have to go crazy yourself to learn everything what is in the books. We will hold your hand. Okay, this is the application, this is the GitLab, this is Git, this is like CI/CD, this is like a Docker, this is like Kubernetes, this is how you build the application, this is the mobile application in the Kotlin or iOS, this is like a React.js. So you'll be able to learn those things within no time, and that will boost your confidence how to build applications. So here is 100%, it's practical, and you'll be able to learn to implement the project by yourself. You can see how these things are working. So this is what my experience for last so many years, and people, they feel within first couple of days, they feel very confident. Oh, now I got a starting point. We're going to teach you how to walk. After that, you practice more and more, then you decide how to run. How fast you run is up to you. But how to make you walk, it's our responsibility. We'll show you how to hold your hand, how to hold your finger and make you work, and that will build the confidence. Right now, as a baby, you're sleeping on the ground and you're not confident how to wake up and how to walk by yourself. We will make you walk. Running faster is up to you now. But we guarantee a job for you. We'll guarantee that we'll make you walk. That is our commitment. And we are a very professional company here. If we don't make you walk, if you don't get a job for you, you are going to tell your 100 friends that this is not the right company. They cheated us. And we are very careful about our credibility and our reputation. So we'll not let anybody go on not getting a job in our company. And one of the best things that we are not an e-learning company. We're not a virtual company. You come physically into our office in India, in Chennai, and you work with our people physically here. We're not an e-learning company. We're not a virtual company. We are a physically attending company here where you can see the likewise happening. You can see the beautiful infrastructure that we have here. So that is a big differentiator. And the people that you're going to learn are own employee, own consultants based in New Jersey, based in New York, based on all across USA. We have like hundreds of consultants working. So these people are implementing our process. You learn from them directly. We don't use any freelancing instructor in our company. This is a big differentiator, what you guys get from us. Yes, Mintu.
Yeah, that was a very good information again, sir. And just to add up, like whenever we go for an interview, company is least bothered about your degree and certifications, what you have done. They will just ask you for two things. What is your experiences and what are the projects you have worked? And if you are mentioning a project or a dummy project, they will know he has copied from somewhere. It should be a real-time industry exposure or industry ready projects. Okay, so let me give you a presentation, kind of, you can say, where we can understand better what is NYINST. So I think my screen is visible to all.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. What is the motto of NYINST? What actually NYINST wants to do? What is the initiative? Why we have started this? We have a already full-fledged business model. We are into XCEL Corp. Then what was the reason for that? The first reason we saw, like, pool of talent or IT professionals are coming out of college, but they're not able to fetch a job of 15,000 rupees a month also because they don't have a skills. Second, there's no platform or there's no guidance to guide them where to go, what to do. And the third, what problem is there, like, or whatever solutions are there, like a short-term solutions, I can call them, it's like a expensive and like not reachable to all. It's again a repetitive, like you come to classes, if you are studying, study, if you're not studying, no one is there to guide you. Okay, so simple language, if I say college creates a products, NYINST make them industry ready. Simple. I told you we are a bridge. You are as a product, you are coming as a product to us. We will train you as industry ready and you'll be into one of the biggest firms or your dream company, which you dream for. So now why we are different from others? Here you are joining as an associate software developer, not as a student. From day one, you are getting into a real-time industry exposure. So you will be working on a project with developers, senior developers, IT professionals who are having a lot of experiences. You will be sitting. I hope you remember an example what sir has given in his presentation. If you're going to, like, let us say you want to make a pasta. If you're going to YouTube and if you're learning, you cannot implement it because that is a theory. But if you go and ask your mother, can you cook a pasta for me? She'll cook. If you see second time, you can also cook because that is something called a practical. You have done a practical. Correct. You have seen. So the same way we are doing this initiative. The mentors are IT professionals. They are not a freelancers or they are not like someone who is busy and they cannot give a time. They are available for you. Now it is on you how you are using them. Okay. As I already mentioned, you will be joining as a software developer here. Okay. We coach you on both things, technical and non-technical. Most of the edtechs are only taking care of your technical, that too also limited. But we are taking care of your technical as well as non-technical. Your communication skill, your body language, your ethics, your morality, everything we are taking care of it. and our mentors are making you to industry ready, like you can come directly, we can deploy into the industry.
That's correct. I think that's a very valid point, Mintu sir. We have seen a lot of technical people, they are shy, they don't know how to face the interviews, right? Discipline and manners and etiquettes, and when you go for any interview, what you show, how you present yourself, that creates the impressions on the interview, right? So you're not learning here only the technical skills, but you're learning like soft skills, and you're learning like professional manners, If you go for the interview, how to dress yourself, how to do the handshaking, how you do like eye contacts, how to feel confident. If you don't know a particular question that you're asking, how to reply in a very positive way. Instead of saying no right away, you can say, sir, give me a chance, I can learn it. So that will send a positive message, a vibe to the interviewer. Oh, even though this guy doesn't know something, he has the ability to learn. He's willing to learn. So I think there's so many small things that is not being taught at any level, to make you prepare. So I think that's where we come into. We make a complete package for you, technicals, soft skills, and how to be a good IT professional. You guys are not ready only for the India market, but you guys are ready for the global market. So our placements or the kind of job you get, not only for the India market, but we can sponsor the H1B, we can sponsor a lot of these things. You can go to any other countries who have offices here. So you are ready for the global market, not just getting a job just in the domestic or India market.
Okay, so now what we offer at NYINST, what we actually offer. So it's first thing, what a parent or an individual or a student look is a job. Correct. Like if I am studying, if I'm giving a time, what is the output I'll be getting? See, leave over the money. You can earn the money again, but the time what you are going to invest, whether that time can you bring it back? No. So I always personally suggest, whenever you are going upskilling, learning something, look for the output, ROI, return on an investment, what time you are investing and what you are getting out of it. So that's where we give you 100% job guarantee within 90 days, 3 months. I already, second thing I mentioned, you will be joining as a software developer working on industry exposure projects. Now we follow a 4P mantra. Okay, now what is this 4P mantra? First P stands for physical exposure. Second P stands for peer-to-peer learning. Like you'll be sitting beside the developer or the someone who is like already into the industry from like 10 years, 5 years, 15 years, and you'll be learning from them. A mother, in the example, the mother will be their peer here. Third, project experience, live project experience. And the fourth most important is a placement that is 100%. Okay, so you will be working on a real-time industry experience from day one. We are not telling you come and learn and do. No, you will be deployed. So most of the industries now are teaching. There's a difference between teaching and deployment. Correct. None of the institution or none of the e-learning platforms are giving you a deployment. But NYINST is the first platform which gives you a deployment from day one. And second, get paid also. We are paying you for, like, as you are working as an associate software developer, we are giving you we are paying you also. And if you are coming for us, we are giving you a free accommodation and food also.
So basically, just to add here, we have seen a lot of people who are not local to Chennai, here. So one of their concerns of the parents that we've seen, so where my son, my daughter is going to stay in Chennai, and how is going to survive. So we have our own accommodations facilities here in Chennai where students can come here, they can stay here safely, accommodations, and they'll get the food, because we want to make sure that those basic concerns should not be disturbing the people's learning or ability to move forward. So we have done everything possible to ensure that you come here, you'll be getting a job guarantee like within 30 days to 90 days. So 30 days is based on your commitment, how fast can you learn, and 90 days is something like worst scenario that you may take some time. But we are guaranteeing 30 to 90 days you will get a job here. 100% we guarantee, because we are very concerned about anybody not getting a job is a black mark on our company, So we are very concerned that everybody must be trained, must be willing to learn, and we'll hold your hand. And you tell us sir, I want to work for this particular company. I want to work for Infosys. I want to work for SAP. I want to work for like Google. We'll ensure that you are getting interviews with any of the company of your dream, but the level of preparation will be required to go to that level. So we'll ensure that whatever your dreams you have, 30 to 90 days is 100% job guarantee. Because if anybody is not getting a job, it's like a bad name. Then you go and tell your friends that, hey, these guys, they promised me a job and they could not get me a job. So I think we're very concerned, very careful, to make a commitment and we'll deliver it. We're the only company in India where we give 100% job guarantee or money back, money returned to you. That is for sure. And we are, as Mintu sir is saying, we are giving initially the stipend for you. So when you come here, you're not making your parents worry about, hey, am I going to spend more? Already spend like 10, 12 lakhs for engineering colleges. I spend another 3, 4 lakhs for e-learning. Am I going to spend another like money for NYINST? And what is job guarantee? So we understand the concerns right now in the market, and we're trying to mitigate and address those concerns. The parents and the students, they feel more comfortable.
So like how we are different from like normal training institution. So they are proper online. They don't have any infrastructure. We have best in class. No practical exposure. We have live projects. They don't have because they are a properly training institute. They cannot get a projects or they cannot source a project. But as we are into a product development from 18 years, we know we can get a projects. Instructors are freelancers. We have like we are having a like our own IT professionals. Course coverage is limited to one subject. We have a technical, non-technical as well. Okay. And like we have a job guarantee, they give you job sure like assistance. They assist you, which you can do also. You can go to naukri.com, you can apply your resume. If someone finds it, they will come and they will hire you. But we will give you guarantee. If you are really working hard here, we will place you within 3 months. Not even 3 months, within 3 months. If you are really good, we will place you in the first month itself. Okay. Now job like cost of the program, you know how much expensive the e-learning is, but we are charging 1/3 of what they are charging, and that too also after placement. Once you have secured your job, you don't have to ask your parents, please pay my fees. No, you can pay from your own salary. Okay. So now coming to this, we have our infrastructure office. If you want, you can visit, you can see, you can have a talk with our mentors. We can have a talk with our like senior professionals. You can understand the model, then enroll. So yeah, so this is last of our like talk, our conversation. Whatever questions you have related to anything, now you can ask us.
Just to add here, again, I told at the beginning that this is not a training center. So there is no syllabus, there is no course here. You'll be learning on the projects, live projects. You will know how to write a code from day one, So we were not talking about here any course and syllabus. So if you ask us, sir, what is the syllabus for Python? There's no syllabus here. We come here, we have many products in the market that we have. You can go and see our products like Pick Those, Intel School, Guide Juniors. There are many applications that we have built, and there's so many applications undergoing right now, which we cannot disclose, but you will be part of those application design. You can see, any of you guys come here and learn and understand, you go for interview. They'll ask you, okay, what have you done? You can say, sir, go to like Play Store and App Store, and you can see my applications. And once you start explaining what you've done, the managers will feel very confident. Oh, because he has done it, he's so confident. So you can say, I have done this website, I have done these applications, I have done this app design, I have done this mobile design. You can go and see my applications on like Play Store and App Store. So that will give the confidence to the hiring manager that this guy has done, and he knows better than the rest of the freshers or rest of the people in the market. You will be something better than the rest of the crowd, and that will give the confidence to the people. And I'll give you a very simple example here. Back in 2007-8, I like to have office in Mexico City. So one of the college that we went and proposed them that, hey, you have so many courses in the 8th semester, has no meaning. So what we did, we are SAP partner. We take one of the course from the 8th semester, And we started teaching them SAP in a very practical way. Our senior SAP consultants, they went and taught all the people in that 8th semester. Now, what happened like this 8th semester people, the companies who come for campus drive, like IBM Mexico or Gemalto or Telcel, Telmex, Telcel, these companies, they came and they saw that, wow, already these people, they know SAP, they know the infrastructure, they know how to deploy SAP. All these people, they got a job at a better package, and it made the companies not to train these freshers again. They could save a lot of time and money. So same thing going to happen here. When you guys come here in 1 to 3 months, you know so many things in a practical way. Any company join, they say, oh, already these guys know. Already like Sam Chandra know this technology. I don't need to bring and teach them. So it's going to give a lot of benefits for you in terms of like package salary and the confidence that you can go to the market quickly. You don't have to wait for 1 year for that hiring company to train you and teach you because you're already industry ready. So guys, I know you're shy or I don't know why you're not asking the question, but the objective here is that we are speaking so much here because you guys are used to a particular learning process here, and we have to change that particular process. There's like a disruptive model here. There's a change of paradigm shift here, and as I told, I'm here from USA and here in Chennai for the last couple of weeks. So to set up this particular program, we want to change the mindset of people. We want to make a difference in the edtech industry. What you can make the change. We are not running behind, okay, we want to get investors and make that tech company big and then go to sing. We're not that here. We are make sure that our people, they get a job and they're happy, because eventually you guys will become like senior developers or programmer managers. You'll remember that because of this company, I could make my career, and that will give us the benefit, that will make us happy. So I think, Mintu, if you don't have any questions, if you want to tell them, they can, okay, let me ask you on behalf of the students here, the people joining. How can I contact you, Mintu or like Kavya? What is the way to contact you guys?
Yeah, so already I've shared the Google form in the chat. You all can see that. You can just open that Google form, fill it up, and our program advisor will get back to you. They'll guide you on the process, everything. And if you want, directly walk into our office. It is in Ambattur Industrial Estate, Prince Info, 2nd building, 5th floor.
What is your website you have?
Yeah, so we have a website, NYINST.com. I'll be sharing the link for the website also, so that you can go there and have a look. And through that also,
it's like a www.ny New York, right? NYINST.com. NY.com. Okay, good.
So I'll be sharing the website link in the chat. Even through that, you can give us an inquiry. We'll get back to you. We are ready to help you. The thing is that you should be also ready to take a help, because see, we cannot clap from one hand. Can you clap? Any one of you can clap from one hand? I'll give you 1 crore rupees if you clap from one hand. No, correct? Because you have to join these hands to clap. This is you, this is me, or this is NYINST. If you join, we can make your future.
Okay, Naveen Kumar, you want to ask questions? You raise your hand. So Naveen, can you unmute yourself? Naveen Kumar, I can see that you're waving your hands.
Yeah, Naveen, any questions you have regarding anything, you can just ask.
Mintu sir, we have a question from chat actually. You can see.
Yeah, is this the first year for NYINST? No, this is not our first year for NYINST. As we have started the NYINST in 2018, but in lockdown, due to like our motive, we are not want to go online. So we have like we closed the process for 2 years due to lockdown. Now we have restarted. In 2018, we had a 500 students and we have placed 100%.
That's good. So we're not new to this industry. I told like we have done like in Mexico, Philippines, Brazil, Colombia, Chile, in many countries. So we're not a startup company here in India. We did not move on to e-learning or virtual learning during COVID because that's not our model. We know that that model won't work long run. So in spite of that, we decided not to continue e-learning and virtual learning in COVID during 2020 and 2021 because we strongly believe that physical learning, working with your team member, is more effective. So we took the loss and we did not change our business model. So we're not new here. This is not our first year, but we're restarting the entire program and what people are suffering in the IT industry right now, the e-learning. I don't want to name any company because I don't know very much, but there's so many e-learning programs in the market. They charge like 3, 4, 5, 6 lakhs rupees, but there is no one give a job guarantee. Everything like job assistant and job assurance. And no company has a physical presence in India. No company has a live projects. Everything like freelancing. I work for IBM, I'll go and teach. I work for SAP, I come and I work for Adobe, I come and teach. So those freelancers, they want to make extra money. Whether the student they learn or they don't learn, it's none of their business. And the worst part is let's I work for a company A, okay? When I come and teach you, I will teach in a general way. I cannot bring my company A's project and expose to you because of non-compete agreement, okay? I'll give a very specific name here. Let's I work for IBM. Can I expose my IBM projects to you guys? No, IBM will sue me. The project belongs to the IBM. They cannot bring that project to train you guys. So as a freelancer, I can give a dummy project. But in our company, because all the people working for our company, and we are all exposing, you guys will work on the live projects by our people. That's the biggest differentiator, okay? Second biggest differentiator is that you guys are not going to get a certificate from us that, okay, ABC, got like Java certification. You guys will get a experience letter that Mr. ABC worked for XCEL Corp, NYINST as an associate software engineer from this particular, and he learned this particular. So you'll get an experience certificate, experience letter, not a Java certifications letter. That is the biggest differentiator. No one does that one. So guys, we have plenty of things to talk about what we're trying to do here. All we want you guys come forward, talk to us. There is no compulsion. There is no fraud here. We're a physical office. You meet, you come and talk to us, and you'll see the difference that what we're trying to do here.
And so there's a question they have posted. I have completed my college in 2011 pass out. I have a 10 years of gap, but worked on non-IT. How do you place me?
See, again, I'm trying to compare the US culture and India culture here. I think there is no timeline. There's a gap here for 10 years. That doesn't mean that you're not qualified. Okay, correct? So even if you have a gap of 10 years, you learn things and you prove to me or to prove to anybody. They don't look at the 10 years gap. They look at what you learned now and what you're capable of. So I promise you, if you prove yourself, I myself will hire you. That's my commitment to you. So I think the 10 years gap should not push you back, saying that, oh, I have 10 years gap, so I'll never be able to go back to IT industry. No, that's not true. At any age, at any time, you can go back to the industry. At any age, you can learn anything you want. So I think your gap should not be making you disadvantaged. I hope I answered the question for you.
Yeah, any more doubts you can put on a chat also. We'll answer that. How much package can I expect after 90 days of working with you as a junior developer?
Okay. So actually, Anthony, this particular question is it's depending on you. Okay, you can get a package of 8 lakh, 10 lakhs, 12 lakhs, or you can get a package of like 3 lakhs. It all depends on your ability to learn and how much you're hungry. We'll give you, it's like a buffet. Like I'll give you like Indian cricket, right? Okay, the same coach is coaching Dhoni or Kohli and other people, right? But what depends at the end is how much Dhoni is passionate about cricket, how much Kohli is passionate about, how much effort they're putting, right? So what Dhoni and Kohli makes today and what other players make is a difference. So here, so Anthony, you want to become like a Dhoni or Kohli, you put that effort, you can make as money you want. Our job is to coach you, train you, give you all the platform, and we'll push you hard. But at the end of the day, you have to go get to the ground and start betting. But guarantee that we'll put you into IPL team. That is our guarantee.
And even there was a word which we use, GTM. Globally, you will be trained, not for a domestic companies. So even we will be handling a placement for international also. Now it depends on you, what vision or what is you are looking for. Here sky is the limit, because the trainers are same for a people who is getting a package of 5 LPA also, and trainer is same for the people who are getting a package of 12 LPA also. It's depend on your effort. We can show you path, but you have to walk that path. If you are ready to follow us, you'll get a good package for sure.
Good. I like to add one more thing here. Anybody who are attending here, what we're trying to do is for your benefit. Okay, you have to feel that this company, NYINST and XCEL Corp and Jeet and the people, we are putting effort for you guys. So you have to feel this is for me, this is for my benefit. I want to make my career. I want to get a better job. I want to make big money. I want to have a beautiful life. So end of the day, this is for you guys. You know, we'll be one just to show you the path. So I think the beneficiary will be you. You cannot make us accountable that, hey, blah, 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 I did not get a job, you know, or I did not make the money. Because you have to put the effort to make it happen. So this is for you. You come with that mindset that this is for me, and I'm very thankful to XCEL Corp and NYINST that you guys gave me the path to be there, you know, what I'm trying to do. And many engineering colleges, I'm from one of the top engineering colleges in India, right? The colleges, doesn't matter whether you go for IIT or NIT, any college, they don't give a damn, you know, how you, but the students, they make it happen, right? The colleges, the toppers, you know, they put constant effort to learn, and then they get the best. So the college, they don't give what you're looking for. You have to try, but they give a path. Okay, so 1935, I didn't get the number. So you have taken a full stack course, right? If you can speak, I think I didn't get your name, 1935, you know, on your screen. So can you unmute yourself? Yes, Anthony. Yes, Anthony, you can ask. Yes, yes, 19, yes. Again, I want to make sure that this is not a training. This is not a training. You guys will come on day one, you will join our company as an associate software engineer. We're not going to teach you theoretical. You will be coming here and you see people doing, let's say I'm a developer programmer, okay? You see me, how I'm writing the code. You can see how the program is built. You can see on your mobile what you build is working. You will see to believe it. So this is not a training program. We don't have any course. You will be learning, you will be experiencing the live projects. You will do, everybody, we have a laptop here, we have a system here. It's not that one system will be shared by 5 people. Okay, Anthony. So the technology is wide, vast. Okay. So what technology you want to learn, we'll tell you. You can learn like BI, you know, business intelligence. You can like machine learning, deep learning, Java, .NET, Python, you know, React.js, AngularJS. You know, there's so many technologies: blockchain, crypto, quantum technologies. You know, machine learning, deep learning, you know, databases. You know, AWS, cloud, DevOps, Kubernetes. Crazy technology available. What you want to learn and what your capability depends on you. And you cannot learn everything. If you want to learn like 10 different things, see, the companies also, if somebody comes to me, if I want to recruit a guy, I want to see if this guy is specialized in one particular skill or he's everywhere. Somebody say, I know like 10 things, I will not hire that guy. I know that this guy is master in React technology or Angular or Java technology or DevOps or Kubernetes or QA. If this guy specializes, I will hire that person. If I have a brain problem and heart problem, I'll go to the heart surgeon or like neurologist. I'll not go to a general doctor. So here you'll be specializing what you're interested in, not like 50 things that you want to learn. And it will help you what is good for you and what you're capable of and what your interests are. So let's say we're going to tell you, okay, this is the QA, this is the Java technology, this is like Python, this is like machine learning, deep learning, this is like business intelligence, this is like ETL, DW. So we'll start seeing where you're generating interest for that and what are you good at. So we'll also try to teach you that particular, or maybe we'll try to put you in that particular segment. Maybe you are good in football, you know, soccer, you're not good at cricket. Why to put you in like cricket, you don't like cricket? So we'll be helping you to understand what you're interested in and what you can learn and what you can, how can get you up to speed. I hope I answered that question, Anthony. Yes. What kind of help? You'll get every help here, you know, like any technical questions you have. Again, you'll be working with senior developers. You'll be working with me, for example, right? Okay. So I'm going to work with me. So you'll see, okay, this is my, I'm getting syntax error. I'm doing the programming, I'm getting like error. I don't know what's the bug here. I don't know how to write the coding. I don't know how to use the API. I don't know how to do the syntax. You'll be learning from us. We'll be helping you to do the bug fixing. This is how do I wrote an API, I wrote applications like, Android. How do I deploy in Google Play Store? How to deploy in like in the App Store? How this web server working? How this security is working? What is SSL? What is like security? So you learn all these things through us only. Anybody from local in Chennai area? Anybody here in Chennai or in Tamil Nadu? We want to invite you guys to come to our Chennai office. But anybody, again, as Mintu sir told, anybody coming from outside Chennai, right? For career, for my job, I can go to anywhere because this is about my life. So anybody coming from outside Chennai, you guys can come here. We have a lot of guest house, a lot of hostels here. We have tie up with those hostels. You can stay. You can get a nice food. You can enjoy the stay here. You don't have to worry where I'm going to stay in Chennai. Who's going to take care of you? No, you are being 100% taken care here once you come to Chennai. Okay, 1935. Please come down to our office in Chennai in Ambit IT Park. In front of that, like Prince Info Park. Come to Building B, 5th floor. We'll give the address to you. And Manarpet is very nearby. Ambattur. Yes. Okay, guys. Any other questions before we wrap up? I think it was a pretty interesting conversation I had with you guys. It's more than an hour now, and it's a pleasure connecting with all. So again, Mintu sir said, you don't have any obligations. You are free to come here, walk into our office. Nobody is going to force you to do anything. This is your choice. This is your money. This is your career. This is for your life. So you don't see any compulsion, any force from anything from anybody. You are not obligated for anything. None of my team member will chase you for anything. Trust me. We're not into that kind of business model. We want to really make your career, make your life. We are passionate about it. Okay. So I think it's 8:30, almost took more than 1 hour. So thank you everybody for joining this call. I want to personally thank you, Kavya and Mintu sir and all this team from NYINST and XCEL Corp. Thank you very much for the opportunity. And guys, please come over here and we are here to help you. And if you guys want to connect with me on LinkedIn, I told, go and search for Jit Goel, Jit Goel on LinkedIn, connect with me. I'll be more happy to help you guys and guide you.
Thank you, Jit sir, for your effective words. So with this, we have come to an end of today's webinar. I think this is a great webinar to the students who are really upgrade their skills in the IT field. So meet up their standards, and the best answer will be NYINST. So thank you for making me part of this webinar, sir. And I would like to thank each and everyone who are taking your valuable time to attend this webinar. And if you have any doubts and queries, please kindly reach out to us. So there is a Google Forms out there in the chat box. So you can fill the form, or else you can come directly to our office.
Thank you all.
Yeah,
Night.
thank you, sir.